Hello everyone, I'm audible. Please do respond in the chat box. I'm audible. Okay, great. Okay. I think the expected count was different. I think whatever the people that are attending the class is different. It's okay. I'll take today's session. No issues. Guys, please do tell me. I hope many of them. I don't know. Many of them. I think 80% of them are attending HTML. There is a front end class. Yes or no in the chat box? I think 80% of them who are attending this particular SQL class would have already attended database technology, right? Okay. Uh, is the timings is okay for you people? Because I'll not be taking more than 1.5 hours. That's it. 1.5 15 minutes. That's the reason. Will that be fine with the timings? No problem, right? Because 7 to 8 HTML, CSS, all those things. Uh, this will be for 1 month until I complete the class. I think many of them are telling, sir, please take the class in the morning. I could have taken, but I don't know whether you people will attend the class in the morning. Will you wake up and initially attend the class for evening slot? Once you got adjusted, then I'll be taking some extra sessions in the morning. Then I might be taking that. But as of now, I'll be having evening slot itself. Will that be fine? Okay. Shall I start with the class? Okay, great.
Before learning this course called SQL, you people should be aware of three things. Okay, sir, which are those three things? If you are my regular student, then 100% you will be knowing that. Which are those three things? First one, which are those three things? What is SQL? That is, what is that? Correct, right? Next, why SQL? And the last one happens to be where we will use this SQL. If you get the clarity about these three things, then 100% you can start off with this particular SQL. And most of the people are asking, sir, is there any prerequisite to attend this particular course? No. You just make a 10th standard student or a 7th standard student to sit in my class who can understand English, a basic English, fine. 100% he'll be able to understand SQL. That's what I will tell. There is no prerequisite for this particular course. That means you need not to be aware of that. You need not to be an engineer, fine. And some of them might tell, sir, already I'm aware of SQL, already I'm working as a software developer. Do I need to attend this course? 100% yes. Why? Because you might be a CS or IS background people. In your curriculum, I know this particular SQL will be there in your what I can tell course. Fine, maybe in your subject in 5th semester or 6th semester, you might have learned that particular language or this particular subject from the exam point of view. But what exactly I'm teaching in the class is industry point of view, how exactly IT industry works using this particular SQL. That's what I'm going to teach in the class. Right now, to start off with SQL, what is SQL? Anyone? What is SQL? Guys, and one more thing, now only I'm telling, it should be a interactive session. Why? Because I am doing in my weekend. You are dedicating your weekend. Although you're not paying some money, that is secondary fine, but you're just giving your valuable time, right? That is the reason the session should be very interactive, and let us just make use of this session. That's what I will tell. Okay. SQL, what is SQL? A data manipulation language. Okay. Okay, structured query language. I don't want the full form or something like that. I just want, what is SQL? What is that? Why we have to use that? Where it will be used? Okay, dealing with data. Very good. one person told dealing with data. Very good, very good. Dealing with data. Okay, that's cool. Wherever you hear this term called as data, SQL will come into your mind. Okay, okay. Some of them are telling a backend tool. Okay, fine. Okay, so many answers. Very good. Okay, cool. Used for storing and managing the data. No, SQL is not used for storing and managing the data. Okay, access the manipulated data. Okay, great. Okay, language which is used to communicate with database. Very good, very good. Okay, fine. If you're not able to hear my voice, it's very simple. You should be aware of how to use Zoom application. That's all. That means you have to just click on that mute button or volume button, something like that. Being a software engineer, I hope you people should be aware of that. Okay. Without wasting the time, let us just give the answers for whatever the things that I have listed out. What is SQL? It's very simple. Maybe if you just ask me the full form, yes, 100%, whatever the thing that you told, a structured query language, that is correct. But what is that? Fine. I can just tell it's an entity or it's a language. What kind of language? It's a scripting language, or is that a query language, or is that a programming language? If you ask me, what kind of language it is? Do you think SQL is a programming language or a scripting language or a query language? It's a query language. Sir, what is query, sir? Don't worry. What is query? What are queries? How to write a queries? Everything I will teach. But SQL is a query language. Sir, what, sir? How the query will be there? In the structured manner, it will be there. Okay, sir, how it will be there in the structured manner? Don't worry, I will just teach that. Sir, then why this SQL is used? Guys, if I just tell a definition, maybe you might mug up the definition or you might by heart the definition. I don't want that to happen. As and when the time comes, I will just teach what is this SQL in detail. But as of now, what is SQL? It is a structured query language which is used to interact with the database. Is that clear? Whenever you want to interact with the database, then you have to make use of what? SQL. Okay, so then what is database? Don't worry, what is database? What kind of database we will use? Everything I will tell. The next thing, I hope at least some 20% of clarity you got regarding what is SQL. Fine. Right now, why SQL, or what is the demand of SQL? Why we have to learn SQL, or why some of them are using SQL, if you ask me. And any application you take in your mobile, you just see any application in mobile. It may be Instagram, it may be WhatsApp, it may be Amazon, it may be Flipkart, it may be Book My Show, Zomato, or whatever may be the application. Do you think SQL will be used? Yes or no? Please do respond. Any application you take in this world, 100% for all the applications that are there in your mobile, for all the applications that you'll be using in your laptop, SQL is compulsory required. Fine, that is the reason why you have to learn SQL. I hope already I have answered your question. Next, okay, sir, where this particular SQL will be used? Whenever you hear this term called as database, and whenever you want to interact with the database, whenever you want to insert some data, retrieve some data, or play around with the data, then you have to use what? SQL. Is that clear? And let me just speak about this data. If my voice is not audible, guys, is my voice is audible? Please do respond. Is my voice is audible? Okay, I think one of the person is telling not audible. That is the reason I told you, being forget about engineer, fine. Being a person in 2021, you should be aware of how to use the Zoom application. All those things I cannot teach. Okay, cool. Let me just show you some facts and figures. Maybe one person mentioned data. Sir, whenever we hear this term called as data, SQL will come into mind. Fine. What is data? 100% I'll teach. And I think many of them will be getting confused between these two technical terms. What is data and what is database? Do you think, is there any difference between these two terms? Please do respond. Is there any difference between data and a database? Yes or no? 500% yes. There is a lot of difference between a data and database. Okay, sir, what is data? What is database? Maybe if you want me to tell in the simple words, 100% I can just tell in simple words. If you're storing a small amount, maybe if you just tell a small amount, then I can just consider it as data, fine. If it is large amount, database will come into picture. Sir, give us some examples so that we'll be understanding. Before giving the example, let me just speak about what is data and what is the source of data, and in 2021, is there any importance for data? 100% I'll just speak about that. Let me just do one thing. Already I have prepared one PPT for that. Let me just show you that PPT. Okay, please do respond. Everyone are able to see the screen? I just want a quick response from your side. Are you able to see the screen? Okay, great. Just observe this. If you just ask me, sir, what is data and what is the source of data and how it will be generated, if you ask me, anyone, can you people tell me what is world's population in 2021? What is world's population in 2021? You have Google, right? You can just Google it out in your mobile and you can just tell me. Guys, in Google, just type what is world's population. So you will be getting the answer, right? What is world's population? Okay, when I prepared this particular PPT at that point of time, the data was 7.7 billion. You have to understand, guys, 7.7 billion people. Fine, but right now I know it is 7.9. Why? Because day by day it will be getting increased. Correct, right? Even though this COVID is there, 100% people will not forget to do such activities. 100% those things will be increased. Okay, right now it is 7.8, 7.9. Maybe according to some survey, it is 8 lakhs already. Sorry, 8 billion already. It crossed 8 billion. But let us just assume some 7.7 to 8 billion. Okay, sir. If there is a huge amount of population, what is use of that? I'm just speaking related to data. That's the reason I'm just taking this particular world's population. If there are around 7.7 or 8 billion people across the world, how many of them are aware of smartphones? Okay, sir, what kind of question you're asking, sir? In this 7.7 or 8 billion people, 5.1 billion people are having smartphone. Guys, I'm not speaking about some a basic model like 1100, not like that. Smartphone, fine. I know 8 billion people will be having mobile phone, including if you just take a 2-year kid, he or she will also be having a set, correct, right? They'll be having a mobile phone. But I'm just speaking, among 8 billion people, 5.1 billion people are having smartphone. Smartphone means they can just have the access towards internet. If they are having the access towards internet, then what are the possibilities and in how many ways the data will be getting generated? If you ask me, it's very simple. Just observe this. Among 5.1 billion people, approximately 4 billion people are having the access towards internet. So then what about the remaining 1.1 billion, sir? Sir, you told 5.1 billion people are having smartphone. Then how come only 4 billion people are having access towards internet? That means they are the registered users of internet. Some of them might be using Wi-Fi, or some of them might be asking the hotspot from their friend. Those things will happen, correct, right? If you just consider 4 billion people who are having the access towards internet, because of that particular 4 billion people, you know how much amount of data will get generated because of this particular application, like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Google, or Telegram, or whatever may be the application. 3.2 billion people are having these many applications in their mobile phone. That means maybe the social media application, or it may be websites, whatever may be the application, right? 3.2 billion people are having the access towards a social media application or entertainment application or gaming application whatsoever. If you just consider among this particular 3.2 billion people, fine, or let us just say 4 billion people, anybody having the idea like how much amount of data will be generated in a minute? I hope you people are aware of what is the meaning of 1 minute. 60 seconds. In 60 seconds, any idea how much amount of data will be generated? Let us just show you the facts and figures. If you consider a minute, 60 seconds, fine. I hope you people would have used Instagram. I think everyone are there in Instagram, right? Per minute, in 60 seconds across the world, 46,744 photos will be posted on Instagram. Only photos I'm speaking. I'm not speaking about a video. I'm not speaking about reels. I hope apart from photos, reels are trending nowadays in Instagram, correct, right? I think more than this, Instagram reels will be there. Okay, next. If I just consider the next one, that is YouTube, fine. It's a most used application by anyone. If you just consider across the world, a topmost application. In a minute, 42 lakh videos will be watched in YouTube. Guys, just imagine 42 lakh videos. So what is the use of this, sir? 100% I'll just tell. I hope after this particular lockdown, after this particular COVID situation, everyone started to watch some series in Netflix, Amazon Prime, something like that, correct, right? In a minute, in Netflix, 69,444 hours of videos is being watched in 60 seconds. Next, if I just consider the next application, that is Amazon, fine. I hope you people are aware of Amazon, Flipkart, all those things, fine. If you just consider Amazon, fine guys, all these statistics are not made by Sandesh, fine. All these things are made, I'm just Googled it out and I'm just showing in front of you. Per minute, for 60 seconds, 2 crores of sales will happen for Amazon. If 2 crores of sales is happening means, don't you think a huge amount of transaction will happen? That means, don't you think a huge amount of data will be generated? Okay, sir, next what? Next, if you just consider maybe a taxi, something like Uber or Ola, whatever it may be. I have just taken Uber, fine. 45,000 tips. That means 45,000 bookings or trips or whatever it may be has been made from the particular taxi in a minute. Next, if 45,000 tips are being made, don't you think a huge amount of address will be sent and it will be received? When it comes to Google, fine. If I don't know anything, what I will do, I'll just Google. If you don't know what you will do, you'll just Google. Correct, right? Per minute, 36 lakh search will be made in Google. Next, right now people should be aware if a huge amount of data has been generated. In the olden days, how they used to store the data. For example, if I just assume that there are some 500 students who got registered for this particular SQL course, what I will do you think I'll just take one sheet of paper and I'll just write name, age, phone number, email? No, I'll not do that. Maybe in the olden days, 100% they have to do like that because they're not updated to the technology. Correct, right? Will you agree with my point? Because in the olden days, what they used to do, assume that if they want to give some salary for the people, they used to write in a sheet of paper or a book. Technically, it is only called as what? Ledgers. Correct, right? In ledgers, they used to maintain the data. Next, as days progressed, what happened? Maybe human being invented something. What is this? It's called as a floppy disk. They used to store the data in the floppy disk. And even floppy disk is not sufficient to store a huge amount of data which has been generated across the world. Okay, sir, then what happened? What they invented, if you ask me? They have invented something called as, what is that? Can people tell me what is the next invention? Guys, database. I'm not speaking about database. I'm just speaking about data. How the data will be generated, where they will store the data. Please tell me. Very good. Pen drives. Don't I think pen drive were invented before the hard disk? That means I know right now portable hard disk is there. Everything is there. Pen drive. Yeah, CD was invented. Yeah, correct. I forgot to mention that CD. Fine, cool. Next, pen drive. In pen drive also, it's not possible to store a huge amount of data. That's the reason they have invented something called as what? Hard disk. After hard disk, they have invented something called as what? What is this? Please do tell me. What is this? Yes, what is this? A cloud storage server. Technically, it is called a server. That means as days progressed, guys, I cannot mention everything. Okay, they have started in a book. Next, they have started in a CD, hard disk. All those things I cannot mention, but I'm just giving a rough idea. That's it. Initially, they started with what? Book. Next, computer were invented. That's the reason they started to store the data in the floppy disk, CD, DVD, pen drive, hard disk. Even that is not sufficient. That's the reason what they have thought. They started to store the data in a server. Fine. Right now, in server also, there are two things: physical server and cloud server. Fine. Right now in the picture, whatever you're seeing is a physical server. Next. Now you only think and answer where this server will be there. Right now, people got the clarity that the data will be stored in server. Where this server will be there? Data center. Don't you think there will be a separate, what I can tell, acres of land dedicated in order to store the data? Technically, it is only called as data center. Guys, I don't know whether people are aware or not. If you consider Infosys in Mysore, they're having acres together of land just to store their data. That means in the data centers. Many people will be hired only to maintain that particular data. Is that clear? Okay, sir. Right now you spoke so many things about data. Then what is data, if you ask me? All this data will be segregated and I will call it as what? Big data. That means a huge amount of data. Fine. Now the question is very simple. How to understand this particular data? If a huge amount of data is there, how to understand this? And one more thing I'm going to ask, do you think the data, whatever it is generated, it may be in the form of a GB, TB or PB, whatever it may be, fine. I can just keep on writing like this. But I'm just asking, if a data is being generated in a huge amount, then technically we have to understand the data, right? Maybe in 2021, there is a saying called as a data is the new oil. Why they will call data is the new oil? If you ask me, if there is a huge amount of data, then do you think easily we can access the data? Yeah, 100%, sir, we can access the data, but do you think using the data, it is a very easiest form to get the information? So slightly you're using some technical terms, sir. From data, is it possible to get the information very easily? Yes or no? Yes, I just want the answer from your side. If there is a huge amount of data, do you think easily we can get the information? 100% no. You might think why, because you people would have seen some small amount of data, guys. That's the reason you're telling yes. But if it is a huge amount of data, then 100% it is very, very, very difficult to segregate the data and get the information. Okay, so then what they will do, sir? Forget about the data for a time being. I hope everyone are aware of petrol, diesel, kerosene. How these things will be extracted? Don't you think they'll be extracted in the raw format? Correct, right? As in the Arab countries, what they will do, they'll just extract the oil in the raw format. Now tell me, I'll just take raw data. I'll just take the raw oil. Do you think raw data and raw oil is useful? Yes or no? Please do tell me the answer. Raw data and raw oil is useful. Yes or no? 100% no. If you just take a raw oil, if you just take a raw raw data, it is useless. Okay, sir, then what we have to do, sir? Don't you think we have to filter the data using some mechanism? Same thing, you have to use some mechanism in order to filter the particular oil. We have to segregate, we have to filter using some mechanism, correct, right? Same thing, how exactly the oil is being filtered. And if you filter the oil, one level of oil we will be getting, which will be used for cooking purpose. Next, another level of oil will be there, which will be used for what? Please do tell me. First level of oil will be used for cooking. What about next level of oil? I just want the response from your side. I don't think it will be used as a petrol or a diesel to run a car or a bike, correct, right? Next, even though if they segregate, they'll be getting some other oil. What is that oil called as? I hope you people are aware of this. White petrol. Have you heard about this white petrol? Which is the costliest petrol, which will be used for a supercar, a super bike, or an aeroplane, something like that. Now tell me, okay, sorry, I think I have muted. Okay, when I have muted, guys, what about the PPT? When I was explaining the PPT, is my voice is audible? Please do respond. While explaining the PPT, is my voice is audible? Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, fine. That's what I was telling about white petrol, right? Same thing, guys. When it comes to oil, how much ever segregation will happen, the price will also be increased. Same thing will be applicable for data also. If you start segregating the data, first level of data will be sold for low cost, even though segregation will happen. Mid cost, even though segregation will happen, then what will happen? At a high cost, you can just sell the data. Okay, so right now we understood what is data. Can I define the data like this? It's a collection of raw facts. How many of them will agree with my point? Data is a collection of raw facts. Yes or no? Please do respond. A data is a collection of raw facts. Okay, I'll just do one thing. I'll just share you the screen. I'll just minimize these two things. Let me just create a new folder called as SQL weekend batch. SQL weekend batch. Okay. In this, I'll just do one thing. I'll just create a text file. A text file name happens to be a day one. I will tell. This is how I'll be providing the notes. When it comes to day one, fine. I'm speaking about what? Data. Okay. Please do tell me what is the definition that I have given for data. Anyone? Please be very quick. A simple definition is what I have given. What is data? Just now I have told. What is data? It's a collection of. It's a collection of raw facts. It's a collection of raw facts. Correct, right? Okay. Next, you people might be getting this particular doubt. Sir, then what is information? Sir, don't worry, 100% I'll just tell what is information. But as of now, is there any doubt for anyone? What is data? It's a collection of raw facts. That's it. It has not been segregated. If you hear this term called as data, what should come to your mind? It's a raw data. That's it. Is that clear? What is information? I'll tell. Guys, please don't tell data is a collection of information. No. Please don't use the technical term called as information. Now, only I'm telling. Data is a collection of raw facts and figures. You can just tell raw facts and figures. Facts and figures. Is that clear? Guys, I can just give some 100 definition for this data, but a standard definition is what I have given. Shall I continue further? Please do respond. If you just tell me, I can just continue further. Okay. Now see here, I'll just consider a diagram. A small chota diagram is what I will just tell. Diagram number 1 I will tell. You have to tell me the definition of the next one. Assume that this is one entity. What is this entity? I will not tell. Assume that for this particular entity, you will be giving input. You will be giving input as data. Assume that you will be giving input as data. Next, you will be getting the output. You will be getting the output as information. You'll be getting the data as, that means you'll be getting the output as what? Information. Already people are aware of what is the definition of data. Now tell me, what is information? Please do respond. What is information? I just want the answer from your side. What is information? Very good. Already some of them are telling the answer. A processed data. Very good. Filtered data. So you're also telling the answer. Correct, right? Data means what? It will be there in the raw format. What is information? A meaningful data. Very good. Very good. Very good. That means, sir, please give us some examples, sir, so that we'll understand in a very better manner. Okay, I'll just consider example. Okay, I'll just tell some example. Assume that, okay, right now what is trending? Okay, cricket. I'll just take IPL. Fine, I'll just take IPL. IPL 2021. Okay, who won the cup? Anyone? If you're aware, you can just tell the answer. Who won the cup? Okay, I don't remember the name of the franchisee, but I am damn sure that that particular franchisee has been banned. Correct, right? Okay, okay, fine, cool. Yes, I'm not against or far off any franchisee. But if you just ask me which is my favorite team, RCB. That's what I can tell. Cool. Okay, okay. No need to have that clash. Okay, at least Mundin Salar Cup nodana. Right now, let us just concentrate on the subject. Right now, just observe here. If you just consider IPL 2021, fine. They will just take all the data. Fine. What they will do, guys? How many matches? I think I don't know exact matches. How many matches? Maybe 8 into 8. How many matches were being conducted? Minimum. Can people tell me how many matches? Please do respond. How many matches? 14 into 8. What is 14 into 8? 14 matches. Guys, it's a simple mathematics. How many, what I can tell, teams are there? 8. Correct, right? Okay, 60. Okay, 60 match. I'll just take round figure 60 match. Each team 14 match. Okay. 14 into 8, how much? Sorry. 8. The 8 team will be having how many matches? Guys, one team will be having 14 matches. That means how many matches were being conducted? Simple mathematics. Please do respond. Guys, it's a simple mathematics. 8 teams will be there. And a team cannot compete itself. Now tell me, how many matches? Guys, forget about all this SQL and all. A general knowledge question is what I'm asking. 8 teams is there. Correct, right? Every team will play against each other. But a team cannot play against itself. Now tell me how many matches? And for example, if one franchisee will play against another franchisee, 2 matches will be there. That's what I can tell. Guys, forget about semi-finals, forget about finals and all. You just tell me the number of matches up until playoff. Guys, common sense. Common sense. Forget about permutation and combination. I'm just asking a common sense, guys. Guys, everyone please calm down. Just calm down. Okay, I'll just tell you. See here, there are 8 teams. If you're not aware of IPL also, listen. There are 8 teams. Fine. There are 8 teams in the IPL. Fine. Every team will compete against each other. But a team cannot compete itself. That means how many matches? At least twice a team will compete. That's what I'm aware of. Please tell me how many matches? Guys, this is very difficult. Guys, forget about IPL 2021. I don't know how many matches they have conducted because I have not watched. But in general, I'm just saying, forget about IPL, okay? In general, I'm just asking the aptitude question. Fine. 8 teams are there. Okay. Minimum 8 multiplied by 7. Sir, why is 7, sir? Why? Because a team can compete against what? Rest of the team. Please do respond. Okay. Guys, 14 match. 14 into 8, how much? 14 into 8, how much? 112. Correct, right? That's it. Every team will play 14 match. Correct, right? Every team will play how many match? 14 match. That means, please tell me, 14 or 13, whatever it may be, according to their wish. Fine. 112. Now tell me what they will do. They will just collect all the data. Okay, who won the game? Which team has played the first batting or the second batting? All those things. What they will do, they'll just collect. Fine. They'll just collect. I can just tell collecting all the data of the matches. Right now, what is data? If you ask me, they have collected all the data of the matches. So then what is information, sir? They will use some mechanism. What is that mechanism? All those things I will speak. But in general, I'm just speaking, guys. That's it. I'm just speaking in general. No one I'm telling. I'm speaking in general. Assume that there is a huge amount of data, whatever they have collected from all the matches. Now, somebody is asking, please do tell me who is purple cap. That means who got the purple cap? Purple cap means what? Highest wicket taker, correct, right? If I'm not wrong. Purple cap. For whom they will be giving purple cap? Right now, I know Harshal Patel. But don't you think they have to see? That means they have to segregate. They have to fetch. They have to filter. And they have to mention a person name who has taken most wicket, most number of wicket. Correct, right? Okay, please do tell me who has taken the most number of wickets. All these things you will tell. I know that. Who has taken? Harshal Patel. Very good. And next, similarly, who is the man of the series? Man of the series. Please do tell me who is the man of the series. I think you people will be aware of this, right? Man of the series. And I have to just mention he's from RCB. That's very important. Okay. Guys, who is the man of the series? If you just take IPL 2021, who is the man of the series? That means, okay, just check it out in Google. Guys, in 2021, who got the man of the series? As I know, nobody will be asking these kind of questions in what I can tell in the company interview, but I'm just asking out of curiosity. Fine. Okay, who got the man of the series? No, I'm not asking the last match. I'm just asking in general. If you just take 2021. Yes, again, the man of the series has been given to whom? If you ask me, I think. Just a minute. Sorry, I think the data has been erased. Okay, cool. See, right now the data is on the RAM. Suddenly I have done something. The data has been erased. That's the reason we have to store the data in the database. Okay, I'll just tell a purple cap. I can just tell purple cap has been given to Harshal Patel. He's from RCB. I can just tell. Similarly, don't you think a man of the series, man of the match, power player of the season, game changer of the season, something like that? They'll be giving a huge number of trophies. If they want to give the huge number of trophies, something like that, don't you think they have to segregate the data? Yes or no? They have to segregate the data. Now tell me, what is information in general? Guys, I'm just asking the technical term. What is information? Right now, what is data? If someone is asking 100%, I'm damn sure people will be telling the answer. What is data? Raw information. I can just tell a collection of raw facts. Collection of raw facts is only referred as what? Data. Now, please tell me, what is information? I can just tell collection of in simple words. Please don't tell data. Collection of data. Please don't tell. Collection of processed data. Yes or no? How many of them will agree with my point? Information means collection of processed data or filtered data, whatever it may be. You can just use any technical term. That is up to your wish. Don't you think information is defined as what? Collection of processed data. As in between, I'll be doing some spelling mistake. Please do tell me. Collection of processed or filtered data. I can just say collection of processed or filtered data. Okay. Now tell me, is that clear for everyone? What is data and what is information? Guys, when it comes to my style of teaching, I will not assume like this person is already aware of SQL, he's aware of basic SQL. Let me start with the queries and all. No. If I'm teaching something from scratch only to the next level, I will teach. That's what my teaching style. Is that clear? I hope you people can correlate. Why? Because I have taken IPL 2021. Easily you can correlate. That's the reason I have taken this example. Okay. From now onwards, if someone is asking, what is data? What is information? Is there any difference between data and information? Are you in a position to tell them the answer? Yes or no? Please do respond. If someone is asking, what is data? What is information? Can you differentiate in your own words? Are you able to define? Okay. One more definition I'll be giving here. Just observe carefully. Data is a collection of, I want some lengthy definitions. Yeah, I can give that. Data is a collection of raw facts and figures. Okay. Which will be there in unorganized manner. Yes or no? Which will be there in unorganized. Should be there in unorganized manner, which is of no use. 100% data will not. For example, if there is a raw data, what is the use of raw data? 100% nobody will be using the raw data. Correct, right? Guys, this is very important. Whatever the data, whatever the definition that I have given. Okay, sir. What about the next definition? 100% I'll just give the next definition. Observe properly. Okay. Now tell me, what is information? I can just tell information is a collection of. What is that? Just now I have told. Please do tell me the answer. Information is a collection of. I just want an answer from your side. Information is a collection of what? Processed or filtered data. Next, continue the sentence. Information is the collection of processed or filtered data, which will be there in unorganized or organized. Which will be there in unorganized or organized. Please tell me. Which will be there in organized manner. Which will be used for some calculations. And any calculation, it may be any calculation. See here, information is a collection of processed or filtered data which will be there in organized manner, which will be used for some calculation, whatever may be the calculation. It may be the calculation for purple cap, orange cap, or even though if it is there, I don't know whether it is not there, I'm damn sure white cap, whatever it may be fine. I hope right now people got the clarity regarding what is data, what is information. Is that clear? Guys, initial couple of days, I'll be going in a very slower manner. Once you get the pace, fine. Once you got adjusted to my teaching style, 100%, I just increase the speed. But right now, are you able to understand the difference between the data and the information? Please do respond. Okay, great. Just do one thing, just take the screenshot of this diagram number 1. I'll just tell D1. I want everyone to take a screenshot of this particular D1 or diagram number 1. Please take the screenshot. Okay. If you have taken a screenshot, let me just go back to the notes. Okay. Information. I can just define in a chota sentence, like I can just tell it's a collection of process data. Is that fine? Guys, please maintain a proper notes, like exactly I'm giving. That means how exactly I'll be giving the notes. Please maintain a notes. Okay. Now you people got the clarity between what is data and what is information, and along with the diagram I have explained. Now tell me, is there any difference between a data and database? Yes or no? Is there any difference between a data and database? Please do respond. Yes, sir. Already people are aware of the definition of data. I need not to tell that. Okay. I'll be giving the definition for database. Fine. Database. Okay, sir. What is database? All those things I'll speak. I'll just do one thing. I'll be taking another diagram. I can just tell the definition I'll give. Please don't take the screenshot and all. Guys, this particular notes I'll be uploading in the Google Drive, and I'll just share you the link of the Google Drive. Don't worry about that. But right now in the class, please listen carefully. That's very important. Let me just take the same diagram. But what I'll do, I'll just erase some part. See here. Okay. I don't want all these things. Okay. Assume this happens to be the data. I'll just consider this is data. Okay, already people are aware of the definition of data. Next, I'll be taking a definition, or what is the meaning of a database. Please do respond if you people are aware of what is database. What is database? Anyone? Like how I'm explaining data. Please tell me what is database. What is database? Guys, it's a very simple example. Data and database, it's correlated. Sir, how it will be correlated, sir? See here, I can just tell collection of. We just use some other color. Okay. I can just tell collection of raw facts, and figures, collection of raw facts and figures in large volume. That's it. Is that clear? Guys, one more thing. Some of them might feel when it comes to database, the data should be in the organized manner. No, it might be in the organized manner, or it may not be in the organized manner. But what I can tell, it's a collection of raw facts and figures in large volume. Is that clear for everyone? Or I can just tell like this here, it's a collection of raw facts and figures, or collection of what I can tell, processed. Sometimes it might be processed, collection of processed data in large volume. Now, how many of them are able to understand the definition? So when it comes to data, it's a collection of raw facts. When it comes to database, it's a collection of raw facts and figure, or it might be the collection of processed data in large volume. Is that clear for everyone? Please do respond. How many of them are able to understand the simple definition of a database? Yes, please do respond. Are able to understand the simple difference? Okay. Now tell me. Right now, you people got a definition of data, and you understood what is database. in order to store this particular data, in this particular database, is there any entity that is required in between? Yes or no? Is there any entity that is required? Please do respond. Let's assume this happens to be the database. I can just tell this is the database. I can just write the diagram so that people will get even more clarity about this. This is a database. Fine. Here we have data. It may be a huge amount of data, or it may be the information, whatever it may be, guys. It may be information or it may be data, guys. No one I'm telling. It might be the information, or I can just tell like this. Here I'll be writing information. Here I'll be writing information. Okay. If you want to store data or if you want to store information into the database, already people are aware of the definition of information and data. Think and answer. I'll be erasing this particular, or I can tell, just a minute. Yeah, I'll be erasing this particular definition. Why? Because already I have given in the previous post, that is previous diagram. Yeah. If you want to store, just give me a minute. Data, okay. Yeah. If you want to store information or the data within the database, is there any mechanism or is there any entity that is required? If you ask me 100% yes. Sir, what is that entity, sir? Can people tell me what is that entity? Anyone? What is that software or what is that entity? Please do respond. Vendor. Okay, very good. Vendor. Okay. Some of them might be calling it as vendor. Okay. Yeah. What is that? Can people tell me the name of the vendor? Guys, please don't tell SQL. No. That is, here is where most of them will be getting confused. If you want to store this information or the data into database, we require something called as DBMS. Will you agree with my point? DBMS. Yes or no? We require something called as DBMS. So what is DBMS? How many types of DBMS are there? All those things I will tell. But right now, whenever you want to store the information or the data into the database, we require something called as what? DBMS. Sir, what is DBMS, sir? Anyone please tell me the full form of that? Anyone? What is DBMS? What is DBMS? It's very simple. Database management. Database management. System or software? That's up to you. You can just call it a system. Database management system. Okay. I hope right now people got the clarity related to what is DBMS. What is DBMS? How many types of DBMS are there? If you ask me, here only I can just mention the types of DBMS. If you want, I can just mention here. Can people tell me the types of DBMS? If you are aware of that, here only let us just write that. Please do respond if you are aware of that. If you are aware of the types of DBMS, you can just tell. Think and answer. Don't rush into things. Think and answer. Guys, what is DBMS? In detail, I will teach in this course. You don't worry about that. But right now, maybe out of curiosity, I'm asking. Okay. First one. Relational database. Some of them might be calling it as RD. What is that? IDBMS. Correct, right? IDBMS. Second one. What is second one? Second one. Okay, I'll just give you the hint. It is HDBMS. HDBMS. What is that? What is HDBMS? Hierarchical database. That means hierarchical database management system. Next, as all these things in detail I'll speak. Don't worry about that. Which one we are using in 2021, why we are using that, everything I will tell. But right now, just try to understand. Okay, next, what about the next one? Network database management system. That means NDBMS. NDBMS is there. Next, fourth one, there is the last one. Object oriented. I can just tell object oriented database management system. That is what I can tell. ODBMS. So all these things in detail I'll speak. As and when the time comes, 100% I'll speak in detail. But as of now, how many of them are aware of database management system? That means if someone is asking how many types are there, forget about the names and all. How many types are there? Please do respond. As I'm not asking you the name, how many types are there? Just tell me the number. That's it. How many types are there? As and when the time comes, I'll speak in detail about every database management system. But right now, there are 4 database management systems: RDBMS, HDBMS, NDBMS, ODBMS. I know already there will be something that is there in your mind. Sir, what is DBMS? Why it is used? All those things will be there. It is a management system. That means it's a database management system which is used to interact with the database. Directly, you cannot store the information and data into database. You have to use something called as what? DBMS. Right now in 2021, the most widely used database management system, which one, if you ask me, it is none other than relational database management system. Is that clear, guys? Please do respond. It is relational database management system, that is RDBMS. Okay, sir. In order to use this RDBMS, what is a prerequisite? All those things I'll speak, guys. I'm just giving the introduction in the initial days. That's it. If you want to use this particular RDBMS, you have to make use of a query language. Yes or no? You have to use a query language. Now tell me, what is that query language that we have to use? We have to use one query language. What is that query language? Yes, please do respond. In order to interact with this RDBMS, we have to use a query language. What is that? Very good. That is only nothing but what? SQL. Whatever that you'll be learning, fine. There is a structured query language. Okay, sir, name some relational database management system. 100% I can just keep on naming. Oracle is there, MySQL is there. Like this, I can just keep on telling guys, there are plenty of RDBMS that are available in the market. Right now, I'm not interested to speak related to the RDBMS. As and when the time comes, 100% I'll speak. But if you want me to give the example, MySQL is there, Oracle is there, DB2 is there, SQL Pro is there, SQL Server is there, PostgreSQL is there, MariaDB is there. Like this, plenty of things I can just keep on mentioning, but this is not the right time. As of now, what you have understood is very simple. In order to store the information and data, there is an entity that is required called as DBMS. I have not spoke anything in detail related to DBMS. All that I have told is what? The types of DBMS. Among the types, which one will be most frequently used? Relational database. In order to use the relational database, we have to use, guys, don't worry, I'll speak related to NoSQL, 100%. What is MongoDB? What is NoSQL? Everything I will tell. But this is not the right time. I hope people are getting the clarity. That's why, because I'm having some flow in my mind. I'm having some teaching style. If I go in that manner, you people will understand in a very easiest manner without getting any doubts. Is that clear? Don't worry, guys. Each and every technical term, each and every topic I'll be teaching in this particular SQL course. Is that clear? Right now, in order to use that RDBMS, you should be mastering a query language. Which is that query language, if you ask me? SQL. Is that clear? Please do respond. Is that clear for everyone? Okay, great. Just do one thing. Just take down the screenshot of this. I want everyone to take the screenshot of this. Guys, I haven't explained anything related to DBMS. As and when the time comes, I'll speak. But it's an introduction, that's it. I hope you have taken the screenshot of diagram number 2. Okay, have you taken the screenshot? Or shall I proceed for the next one? Okay, great. Next, observe properly. I'll just take the next one. There is the next slide. Let me speak something about SQL, not in detail. Let me speak something about SQL. What is SQL? At least tell me the full form of that. What is that? Just now you people are telling, right? What is that SQL? It's a structured query language. Structured query language. Guys, what is SQL? Why it is called as query language? What is structured? How to write a structured query? Everything I'll speak. But as of now, I'm just giving the introduction. That's it. A brief introduction. That's it. Guys, right now, how many of them are able to understand what is SQL, where SQL will be used? That's it. From the previous slide. That means from the previous diagram, our people are in the position to understand where SQL will come into picture. Yes or no? Please do respond. In RDBMS. That's it. Okay. Don't worry about what is RDBMS, how many types of RDBMS are there, how to use, how to install. Don't worry about it at all. But right now, at least if people are aware of that, SQL will be used in RDBMS. That's it. Okay. When it comes to this particular structured query language, there will be so many languages that are involved. That means so many sub-languages that are involved. Okay, sir, which are those sub-languages? I think it is not a right time to write, but it's okay, fine. Let me just give the introduction. That's no one I'm telling. If I'm writing some technical term, you people should not get confused. No one I'm telling. Is that clear? 100%. I'll speak in detail about each and every technical term that I'm writing in today's session as the days goes on. Is that clear? Okay. When it comes to SQL, there are so many languages that will come. Okay, sir, which are those languages? DDL will come. See here, DDL will come. Sir, what is DDL? 100% I'll speak. Next, DML will come. Next, DRL will come. Next, there is something called as DCL. Next, there is something called as TCL. Okay, great. Now some of them might be having the doubt. Sir, what is this particular DDL, sir? Just a minute, I'll just take some other color. What is this DDL, sir? What is DML? What is DRL? What is DCL? What is TCL? I know you might be getting some doubt. That's not what I'm telling. I'm just giving the introduction in day one. Directly, if I try to write the query and all, you people will be getting confused. I don't want that to happen. I'm having the complete content in my mind. Let me go in my flow so that easily you'll understand. Don't be in a hurry to learn something. Is that clear? Okay, great. First, if someone is asking, what is DDL, DML, DRL, DCL, DCL? All these things are entity. I know I can use technical term, but if I use technical term, you people will be getting confused at this point of time. I can just tell all these terms or entities will fall under SQL. Is that clear for everyone? Please do respond. Guys, what is DDL? How many commands are there? All those things I'll take care. What is the full form and all? I'll take care. But if someone is asking what is DDL, DML, or if you hear this term DDL, DML, DRL, DCL, TCL, it will come under SQL. That's it. Is that clear? Are you able to understand this much at this point of time? If you hear this term DDL, DML, DRL, DCL, or TCL, it will come under SQL. That's it. Okay, someone is asking the full form. I thought of not writing the full form. Okay, fine. Let me just write the full form. That's it. Okay. I'll just write first one that happens to be DDL. Let me just write the full form. DDL means a data, definition, whatever it may be. Data definition language. Okay, data definition language. Let me just reduce the font size. Okay, cool. Next, what is DML? If you ask me, what is DML? Data manipulation language. Data manipulation language. Data manipulation language. Okay, sir, what is the meaning of DRL? If you ask me, it is nothing but data retrieval language. Data retrieval language. Next, what is DCL? If you ask me, it is nothing but data control language. Data control language. Last one, what is TCL? If you ask me, I can just tell transaction control language. Transaction control language. Is that clear, guys? Please do respond. How many of them are able to understand the full form? That's it. Guys, as and when the time comes, don't worry. In detail, I will take DDL and I will speak. Okay, that's what. If I write something, some of them will be asking me to write the comments. Okay, let me just write the comments for your wish. Okay, don't worry. But I'll not explain now itself. Is that fine? As you requested, right? Just to write the comments, I'll be writing, but I'll not be explaining here. As and when the time comes, I'll explain. Is that fine? Okay, let it be there here. When it comes to data definition language, there are 4 things which will come into picture. Which are those 4 things, if you ask me? Create. Next, alter. Next, create, alter. Next, drop. Don't worry, guys. What is this? All those things I'll take care. Don't worry. Create, alter, drop, truncate. All these things will fall under what? DDL. Is that clear? Please do respond, guys. As I know, I'm not explaining here itself. As another time comes, 100% I'll be speaking about this. But as of now, is that clear? What are the commands or what are the things that will come under DDL? Okay, next. If you just ask me what are the things that will come under DML, if you ask me, insert, update, next, delete. These three things will come under DML. Next, DRL. Only one thing will come under DRL, which is that if you ask me, select. Next, DCL. Okay, sir, what will come under DCL, sir? There is something called as grant. Next, there is something called as revoke. These things will come under DCL. Next, last one, that is TCL, transaction control language. Commit is there. Next, rollback is there. Commit is there. Rollback is there. Next, the last one happens to be save point. Okay. Is that clear for everyone? Guys, now I'm telling, I thought of only writing these many things. That's it. What I thought is to write only these 5 things. But you requested to write the full form and you requested to write the technical terms that will come under that. That's the reason I have written. Guys, if you're not aware of anything, don't worry. I know some of them already learned SQL, basics of SQL. Let me tell you one thing, guys. Don't you think writing on an empty sheet of paper is very easy for me, for anyone? Yes or no? If something is written, then it is very difficult for me to do such things. Make a heading function, sir. I didn't get your point. What is that heading function? What is the meaning of that heading function? Don't worry. I'll be telling that. Don't worry. Okay, you're just asking CADT, something like that. IUD, something like that. Guys, don't worry. That's the reason I told I'll not speak all these things here. As and when the time comes, 100% I'll speak in detail. Assume that I have just listed. Is that clear? Assume that I have just listed down here. That's it. Now tell me how many of them are aware of not completely SQL. What is the full form of SQL? How many technical terms will come under SQL? That's it. How many of them are aware of that? As I know, I have not given in detail. Okay, guys, don't worry. As and when the time comes, 100% I'll speak. But as of now, this is what I'm planning to speak. Just do one thing. Just take down the diagram number 3. Okay, D3, diagram number 3. Just take the screenshot of this. Okay. Have you taken the screenshot? Shall I proceed further? Guys, once again, I'll be writing this. 100% once again, I'll be writing this. Okay. Let me just go back to the notes. Guys, don't worry. I don't know. 100% as and when the time comes, I'll speak. What is the use of function? Why it will be used? All those things I'll tell. Don't worry. Okay, cool. When it comes to database, I hope you people are aware of the definition and people are aware of diagram number 2 and diagram number 3, whatever you have understood. Is that clear? Shall I proceed? Shall I proceed further? Please do respond. I want the response from your side. Shall I proceed? Okay, great. Okay, the next technical term happens to be data management. Data management. Data management. Step by step, we will learn. Is that fine? As now I'm telling, in 1 week or 2 weeks, I cannot make you to understand complete SQL. It will take some time. At least it will take around 2 months of weekends, so that I can just give some justice for this course. Please have some patience. Okay, sir. What is data? That is, what is data management? All those things, if you ask me. In simple words, data management is very, very simple. It's a process of, I can just tell, it's a process of storing and retrieving storing and retrieving. I think the spelling is wrong for retrieving. Storing and RIE. Okay. Storing and retrieving. Retrieving means extracting. That's it. It's a process of storing and retrieving the data. That's it. Data or information. Information. Is that fine? What is data management? It's a process of storing or retrieving the data or information. That's it. Now tell me, if there is a data or if there is information, already people got the clarity related to what is data, what is information. In olden days, let me just do one thing here also. I'll just write a diagram number 4. I'll just tell diagram number 4. Okay, I think the last concept for today's session. Okay, observe. This is D4. D4 means diagram number 4. In the olden days, fine. I can just tell in olden days. If they want to store the data or if they want to perform this data management, I hope already people are aware of what is data management. If they want to manage the data, I can just tell data management. How this data management, like storing the data, retrieving the data, all these things were happening. Please tell me. I told you. Don't you think they were using something called as books? How many of them will agree with my point? They'll be using something called as books. Yes or no? Correct, right? They'll be using something called as books, or sir, use some technical words. Sir, 100% I can use the technical term. Technically, I can just tell ledgers. Ledgers. Okay, ledgers, or I can just tell books. Okay. Ledgers or books. Okay. Now tell me, assume that there is some data. Fine, I don't want to mention the data and all. Assume that there is a data within this particular ledger or a book. There is some data, fine, a huge amount of data or small amount of data, whatever it may be. Now tell me, if someone wants to store the data, don't you think they have to write manually? Yes or no? They have to write manually the data. If they want to retrieve or if they want to extract the data, they just want to see the data in the book and they have to tell the information for someone else. Yes or no? Yes, please tell me, yes or no? 100%. And as days progressed, I can just tell like this. Instead of storing the data in the ledgers, they have introduced what in the computer era. Don't you think they were storing the data in the file? Yes or no? They were storing the data in the file. The file, where the file will be stored, I can just tell this particular file will be stored within the hard disk drive. I can just tell hard disk drive. Example, assume that I'm just taking care of day1.txt. Day1.txt. It's a text file. Assume that I'm just storing some information called as day1.txt, and I'm just storing within the hard disk drive. That's what I'm doing in my class. Correct, right? That's what I'm doing in my class. That is day1 notes. Now tell me, don't you think if it is small amount of information, I will go for a text file and I'll just store what within the hard disk drive. But do you think in order to store a huge amount of data, I will go for a file? Please tell me yes or no. Assume that I just want to store the complete information of the users that are there in Amazon. I just want to store the complete information of the users and their photos and their stories, reels of Instagram. Do you think I'll be going for file? 100% no. What I will do, I will go for what? Database. Is that clear? Is that clear for everyone? Sir, then please tell, sir, what are the problems associated with storing the data within the ledgers or books, or it might be storing the data within a file? What are the disadvantages or what are the problems? If you ask me, I would like to mention the disadvantages. You people should tell me. I'll tell the scenario. You people should tell me the answer. Assume that all your data, assume that you are from XYZ college or XYZ school. What they have done, maybe the first standard student data has been written in one book, one ledger is there, one book. Second standard student data has been mentioned in another book. Like this, complete, whatever may be the section, whatever may be the standard, all the data is mentioned within a book, and all the books will be stored within one room. Don't you think there might be attacks for the particular data? I can just tell the first point. Chances. What is the spelling of chances? I'm not getting. Yeah, chances of attack. Chance of attack. Sir, what is the chances of attack? 100%. Don't worry, I'll just tell you. Don't you think? Who knows? There might be fire, maybe because of some fire, or because of some flood, or because of some earthquake, or because of some of the insects or rat will eat the book. Are people aware of that? Please tell me, guys. Please do tell me the answer. Are aware of that? Correct, right? Maybe, who knows, fire might come. Because of fire, it might be destroyed, the books and the ledgers. Because of fire, the complete computer might be destroyed. If the computer is only not there, hard disk is only not there, how come the file you can retrieve? Because of floods, the data might be vanishing. Because of the very important thing, earthquake. Fine, because of the earthquake, the data might be lost. And because of some insects, 100% it's true. Yes or no? Because of some insects or some animals or rats, fine, 100% the data might be destroyed. This is the first disadvantage. Okay, sir, what about second one, sir? Please tell me what is the second one. I can just tell like this, just tell me whether it is true or false. Second one, the disadvantage of storing the data within ledgers, or it might be in the file within the hard disk drive. Second one, I can just tell like this, inaccuracy, yes or no? Inaccuracy. Please do respond. Inaccuracy. Sir, what is inaccuracy, sir? Some of them might tell something, some of them might listen something, and the data might be stored in the inaccurate format. Correct, right? Please do respond. A best example. Assume that, or I can tell, a cricketer is there. I can just tell the example. I can just take one example. Observe. Assume that a cricketer is there. Okay, Mahendra Singh Dhoni or Virat Kohli. Fine. If you're writing in a book or a sheet of paper, or it might be stored in the file, there might be inaccurate data that might be stored. Maybe someone will store the age of Virat Kohli. I can just tell Virat Kohli. Some of them might store the data in this format. Assume that what is the date of birth of Virat Kohli? Assume that I'm just taking 01. I don't know the date of birth. Assuming that 0101, I can just tell 1990. Simply, I'm just taking, guys. Please don't take me wrong. I'm just taking 1990. Some of them might be stored the data in this manner, in some of the book, or I'll just take some other data. Wait, I'll just tell this happens to be a 12. I'll tell December 1st, 1990. Assume that some of them might be storing the data in this manner. VK. Instead of this, they might be storing 12 1st, 1 1st, 1990, or the data might be in the inaccurate format. Yes or no? But because you cannot retrieve the data, right? If someone is coming and asking, please tell the date of birth of Virat Kohli, you can just tell. But if you have stored VK, who will understand what that VK? Are you getting my point? That means the data will be stored in the inaccurate manner. Okay, sir, what about the next one, sir? Next one, let me just take like this. Don't you think the data might be inconsistent? Will you agree with my point? The data might be inconsistent. I can just tell inconsistent. Next, fourth one. Observe properly. I can just tell the fourth one. Redundancy. What is redundancy? I will tell. Redundancy. Okay. Next, fifth one. Lack of concurrent access. Lack of concurrent access. You cannot access the data concurrently. Last one, that happens to be security will not be there. I can just a lack of security. Lack of security. All these things will happen if you store the data in ledgers or in the files. Sir, what is redundancy, sir? Can people tell me what is redundancy? Anyone? What is redundancy? What is redundancy? Very good, very good, very good. Duplicate data. Very good. Duplicate. I can just tell a duplicate data. Redundancy is very simple. Duplicate data. Don't you think you will not be in the control of checking whether the data has been repeated or not? Yes or no? Because ultimately you're storing the data within a ledger or a file. How can you validate? How can you check whether the duplicate data is available or not? That means there might be chance of duplicate data that might be stored. Yes or no? As will you agree with my point? Please do respond. What is inconsistent? I can just tell like this. Maybe if you are asking the definition for inconsistent, I can just tell confusing data. Storing confusing data. I can just tell like this. Storing the data in confused manner, confused or ambiguity manner, anything. Storing the data in confused manner is called as what? Inconsistency. Sometime you'll store in one manner, another time you'll store in another manner. That is what technically called as what? Confused manner. Next, redundancy means what? Duplicate data might be stored. Okay, sir, what about the last one? That is a lack of concurrent access. Assume that the data of Indian cricket member is being stored. If you want to access Virat Kohli data, you have to open the book and you have to see. If you want to see MS Dhoni data, you have to open the book and you have to see. Correct, right? Same thing will be applicable in file also. If you store the Virat Kohli data in a file, you have to open that Virat Kohli file. If you want to see Dhoni file, you have to see Dhoni file. But concurrently, you cannot see all the file at a time. Yes or no? Please do respond. Concurrently, you cannot see all the data at a time. If the data is being stored in this particular manner, that means only one member can access the file. Correct, right? And lack of security, already I told, lack of security means something might happen. Some of them might steal your book, or some of them might steal the computer itself. Correct, right? That means lack of security will be there. How many of them are aware of what are the disadvantages associated with storing the data within a ledger or file? How many of them understood? Please do respond. Okay, cool. That is the reason they have invented to store the data within where they used to store the data, sir? They used to store the data within something called as what? Database. Is that clear? Nowadays, where they are storing the data, guys? Please do respond. Nowadays, they are storing the data within what? Database. In order to store the data within a database, there is one entity that is required. Just now I have told. What is that entity name? Please do respond. There is one entity that is required to store the data in a database. What is that entity? Just now I have told a couple of minutes back. In order to store the database, in order to store the data or information within database, something is required. What is that? DBMS. Very good. DBMS. Up until this point, is there any confusion for anyone? Please do respond. Is there any confusion? Okay. Just do one thing. Just take the screenshot of this particular. So what is the difference between cloud and DB? 100% I will speak. Don't worry. Just take the screenshot of this. Right now, everyone are using this particular manner. Okay. Yeah, 100% I'll make a quick recap. That's what I'm sure. I hope you have taken the screenshot of this D4. Let me just do one thing. Let me just go back to the notes. That is day 1. Hope that you have taken the screenshot of diagram number 4. Now I'll be writing the definition for DBMS. DBMS. What is DBMS? Just now we have learned. What is DBMS, guys? It is a database management system. I can just tell DBMS means what? Database management system. Database management system. What is management? I can just tell management. I can just tell it's a process of storing and retrieving the data. Technically, that is only called as what? Management. Next, what is database? Already people are aware. Already I have given the definition for that. Now tell me, what is DBMS? If someone is asking, it's very simple. System means what? System means software. What is database? Already I have given the definition. What is management? You people are aware. What is system? It's a software. That's it. Now, all together, if I want to define what is DBMS, I can just tell like this. DBMS is a software. It's a software or collection of programs to store or retrieve or modify or delete the data. That's it. DBMS is a software or a collection of programs to store, retrieve, modify, or delete the data. Is that clear for everyone? Please do respond. Is that clear? What is DBMS? Okay, at least if I give the heading as types of DBMS, will you be able to write the types of DBMS below this? It's a. I hope you people are able to write the types of DBMS. There are 4 types are there. Those 4 types, I hope you people are able to write. Is that clear? Okay, let me just quickly recap whatever I have done in today's session. As initially I have told what is data, that's it. What is information? I hope DB, oh, sorry, I have written DMBS, sorry, DBMS. Thank you. Sometimes I'll just commit a mistake. Please do tell me types of DBMS. Okay. Is that clear for everyone? Next here, I have just told what is an information, and as diagram and all, I can just quickly recap. Just observe properly. As if you see this diagram, you should be able to understand whatever I have spoke. See here. Next, I have told what is SQL, the things that will come under SQL. I know I have not told in detail. I'll speak about that. Next, how the data has been stored in the previous days, but right now how the data is being stored, why it is stored in this database, what are the disadvantages associated with that particular approach. All those things I have discussed. Is that clear for everyone?
Okay. Please do provide your attendance. Just give me a minute. I'll just send you the link. Just be online. Don't get exited from the session. Just 1 minute. Okay. Are you people able to see the attendance link in the chat box? I hope you people are able to see the attendance link, right? Click on that link and please do provide your attendance for SQL Day 1. Guys, it's very important when it comes to providing the free access in the website. No one I'm telling, your attendance matters a lot there. There, please don't tell me, sir, I forgot to provide the attendance and all. Okay, I'll be providing 2 minutes of time for everyone to provide the attendance. Yes. Regarding the notes, just a minute, I'll be uploading in a Google Drive. Now only I'll share you the Google Drive link. Could you please give me 1 minute so that I can just share you the Google Drive link? Meanwhile, you just concentrate on providing the attendance. Just a minute. Okay. Are you done with the attendance, guys? Are you people done with the attendance? Still, I'm yet to receive the attendance from many people. I don't know why you people are not sending the attendance. Yes, please do provide the attendance now itself. Okay, this is the Google Drive link. If you click on that link, or you can just save the link and make it bookmark, or just store somewhere else in your laptop. Okay, don't worry. Tomorrow morning, you'll be getting both attendance, sorry, not attendance, notes as well as a day 1 video. You'll be getting for your WhatsApp. Okay, tomorrow at what time the SQL class will be there? Same time, same 8:30 the class will be there. I know today I have taken extra 20 minutes. I'm really sorry for that because I have to conclude the topic. But if not, tomorrow I'll stick on to 1 hour itself. But HTML, CSS class will start from, that is only for tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.